How to navigate a coffee shop interview. What to order, what nuances to consider. These are my best tips. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to Coffeeshop Vibes. Welcome to Ispirare Coffeehouse. Welcome to a new season of Coffeeshop Vibes. Hey guys, if you know, my wife and I, we took our love and passion of coffee and turned it into Ispirare Coffee Company, and then ultimately Ispirare Coffeehouse here in a small town in Western PA. Before that, we spent many years in the professional world. I worked in technology, Silicon Valley, and for some of the biggest companies. And today I wanted to share with you some of the best tips for a coffee shop interview if you're the interviewee, I guess you would say. At the end of the season last year, I did one on coffee dates and things to look out for, and a lot more going on a coffee date, a lot more things you need to adjust for and know about or maybe strategize for. An interview, a little simpler, but these are some tips that I'm gonna give you. I see them more and more, as people work from home, people work remotely. You're seeing a lot more coffee shop interviews, so I figured this would be a very good topic for Coffeeshop Vibes, the show that exists to help you expand your specialty coffee shop knowledge. So if you ever have questions about coffee, feel free to reach out and look back at the archives. We have some great shows about drinks and different things you'll find in a true specialty coffee house. Let's go. Now, I wanted to approach this from the interviewee's standpoint, although I have interviewed a ton of people in my career and even gave advice and tips to other big companies and certain groups on how to interview people. And I'll leave you 2 thoughts on that. One thing that I do, and maybe it's just a trait of my own personality, is I always look for people's potential. So I always view people not who they are right now, but their potential, and whatever reason I gravitate to figuring out that this person has very high potential in this area or whatnot. As far as the coffee shop interviews, I would always use that in the second part of the interview. One of the things that I did, which is probably not advised by any HR team in America, is I would be like, hey, these are the problems you're gonna encounter. And I'd like to do this, we find someone who's really close to the job, and I would always take people to coffee shop maybe right before we hired them, just to get it in a more casual environment, one that's not so kind of prepared as a formal interview in a conference room. See how they are, give them kind of the rundown, say, hey, these are gonna be the main problems you're gonna run into. These are the things you need to watch out for. These are the things in the company that right now don't work well. And just to make sure they're casual, they're in a casual or more casual setting, and they understand that. So I would always kind of say, hey, you need to watch out for this. This group might give you problems. This is going to be a challenge for you. Just so we're all the cards are on the table in a casual kind of coffee shop setting. I can get their vibe to what they're like, what they're going to be like, when we do work meetings, work dinners, all that stuff, which is also very important. So those are 2 tips for my interview, or 2 things I would do from an interviewer standpoint. As for the interviewee, pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. But there's a short menu and a couple things you need to consider. And like I said, this is becoming more and more popular. Now, if you meet someone at a coffee shop, they're interviewing you, they should pay. So you shouldn't have to worry about that at all. I don't even think you should need to suggest that, right? They should be on top of that game, right? If not, that's a red flag. Anyway, for you. So this is what I would order. I would keep it very, very simple, because just like on a coffee date, everything you do on this coffee shop interview is going to be kind of critiqued. I would stick to either one of 3 things. Black coffee, we have so many different options, single origins, etc. A latte, not a flavored latte, not a pumpkin spice latte, certainly not a white mocha, not the autumn latte, not the bourbon vanilla latte, or any other concoction that we've created, the Himalayan mocha. None of those fancy drinks. Just a plain latte, a flat white, you could say, might be another way to order essentially the same drink. So flat white latte, or if you don't drink coffee, you could order a tea or a chai tea latte. That would be my interviewee menu, and I would stick to that. I wouldn't go exotic or even slightly exotic with any of my orders if I was being interviewed at a coffee shop. And I would not get a cortado, right? So cortado, cappuccino is going to be in a short glass. A latte is going to be in a 16-ounce cup, right? I would go for the bigger cup, because assuming it's going to be an interview, you're going to be there for a little bit. Stay away from the small drinks. Like I said, chai, lattes, regular straight up coffee, or tea. All right, and now some nuances. I know This can be stressful. An interview can be stressful. I would try to push the person, not push, but nudge, I guess, or try to lean towards a seat that's going to be the least distracting, right? You'll probably be being interviewed during the day. There'll be people coming and going. You'll get light coming into the coffee shops, wherever you may be. Some areas by the espresso machine are quite noisy. Typically, the interviewer knows this and would probably have a table or more of a quieter location picked. But wherever you sit on that table, make sure maybe you're not looking at the door, maybe you're not looking at the checkout counter, things that can easily distract your eyes in various ways. Secondly, some coffee shops have sleeves. We have sleeves. Some of them have regular cups or double-walled cups. Some people might want to play with their sleeves or play with parts of their cups. I wouldn't do that. I also would not order anything that's open, like a sit-in porcelain cup, unless that's the only thing they serve at the coffee shop. I would still do this closed. It's a little bit more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing than watching someone sip coffee from a big 16-ounce mug. I would go with the regular to-go cup. I think that's the best way to go for you, the interviewee. Finally, if the coffee shop is close to your house, and if you've never been there before, you might want to go check it out before the interview if you have some time to do that. Maybe get an idea of what you might order, or maybe where you want to sit, or things that just have a concept of the space so it's not new to you, so you're not looking around and you're focused on the interview. Finally, no food, no espresso, darn it, and just be yourself. Just be yourself. A great question to break the ice as you guys are kind of sitting, you're sitting down or getting ready to start the interview. You might ask them if they've ever been there. You as the interviewee might ask the interviewer, have you ever been here? What's your favorite? Something like that while you're waiting in line. But again, just be yourself and good luck. We'll talk to you soon on another edition of Coffee Shop Vibes.